Hello, Jasmine and the gang. I'm going to do your tag. Question 1 is, how old were you when you first watched your first horror movie? I was 10 or 11, and I was spending the night with my best friend, and we watched Frankenstein. You know, the really old one. First one ever made. Number 2. What's the creepiest thing that happened to you when you were alone? I don't know. It's not creepy like Halloween creepy. And I already told you the one where the man broke into my dorm room. I haven't seen anybody cut any body parts off or anything like that. But, and I wasn't there, my brother shot himself with a staple gun, not on purpose. And he's fine. He missed all the vital organs. And one of my bosses was building a house, not with my brother, but he shot himself in the hand with a staple gun, and his hand was up in the air, and so his hand was up on the wall, and we didn't have cell phones back in those days. That was in the 80s, early 80s. So these really creepy things happen to people I know. The creepiest thing I can think of was that I was, okay, there's a Methodist church in Oakland. There used to be. It burned down. And they were letting people come and salvage anything they could. So I salvaged a beautiful stained glass window. I was a nanny at the time and lived in a different county, so it was in storage under their house. And it was still in the wooden casing or picture frame, you know, whatever it was around it. And the wood was very old. And I swear to God, I got a splinter, and it was like that long and like that wide, and it was driven deep into my arm, and there was lots of blood everywhere. Now this is back in the early 80s, so I didn't have a movie camera, so I couldn't film it, but I did the surgery on myself because not that week I had just bought from a door-to-door salesman a paring knife, and it was so sharp that I was able to cut that splinter out of my arm. I did not go to the hospital. I did not get an infection. I do not have a scar. Don't ask me how I got that lucky. So that's really the creepiest thing I can think of. Next question. Have you ever walked in the woods late at night? Now, I have said several times before that I was a camp counselor in Minnesota for 2 summers. And it was the same. It was a university language camp for children. And I worked at the French camp. So, the second summer, it was on a different property. And I love to walk through those woods. And I walked through the woods barefooted all the time, so my feet knew the way. And I didn't need a flashlight or anything like that. And there were loons on the lake, only on one lake. There were no loons on the other lake, and I don't know why. Maybe there were too many boats on that lake. And you know, I mean, you have to put the kids to bed early, and then what do? Well, Well, the counselors used to meet at the lake, you know, on the swimming and boat dock, and look at the stars and the moon and listen to the loons and tell stories. So yeah, every night I walked down to the lake to participate in the counselorly activities, and there were no sexual activities, so all you dirty-minded people just clean your minds right up, Stevie. And that was in the mid-70s, so you know there's no video of that. And I was a counselor. I was a grown-up. Okay. Next question, please. Have you ever played Bloody Mary, or would you play Bloody Mary with your friends any night? Well, what we always played was I Believe in Mary Mo, and that does not work. I don't know if we ever tried Bloody Mary, and my guess is we did. But if we did, it didn't work. If we didn't, I will just go turn off all the lights in my house and go in the bathroom and play Bloody Mary by myself. Do you think it'll work? Okay, Stephen, again, wipe those thoughts right out of your mind. Next question. Okay, number 5. Okay. The short and long of this question is, do you know a short story that appeared in a film? And I guess you're probably talking about local legends and ghost stories that people tell in movies to scare each other, and then it ends up really happening. And I've seen several movies like this. I don't know what they are, and the story is, you know, the boy and the girl are in the car and they drive to a secluded place, and then they hear a bump on the roof of the car or something like that. So the boy gets out to investigate, but, you know, before he goes out, they have told the ghost story of there's a man loose in the woods and he chops people's arms off and kills them and stuff like that. So, anyway, I can't answer that for sure, but I've seen movies that have had urban legends in them that I've heard of crazy people wandering out in the middle of nowhere, chopping up lovers, and stuff like that. Okay, there's the tag for this week, October 26th. And that was yesterday, so I'm sorry I'm late, but I hope you enjoyed my answers. They sounded boring to me, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!